Get out.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen.
I don't care. You're a U.S. citizen.
Okay, so this video is going rather viral to include the story behind it. It's being reported that ICE agents in Oregon detained a teenager, an American citizen, and this is the video that is circulating around that story.
Get out.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S.
I don't
citizen.
care. You're
I'm a U.S. citizen.
So that's all we have. We have a 5-second video and we have a lot of outrage. Here is a member of Congress. This is outrageous. First, this kid is a citizen. Second, this kid's a minor. So, like we always do on my channel, we're gonna take a look at this story and see what we can find. And I don't want to give away too much. I'll give you a little spoiler alert. It turns out, according to Homeland Security, they were being followed by the teenager, and there's another suspect. We'll get to that in a second. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. It's a massive help, and because this story is going so viral, I want to make sure people actually have the other side of the story as well, so you can have a legit opinion on what's going on here. So get the video out and please like the video.
A high school student in McMinnville taken into custody by ICE agents. Here's what we know so far. McMinnville superintendent says the high school student was detained by ICE agents today during the school lunch period off campus. It did not happen at a school. Multiple students saw it happen, according to the district, and right now, McMinnville School says it is working to verify information about what took place. Meanwhile, the district says ICE agents have not visited any school buildings. McMinnville's interim superintendent sending this message to families tonight, saying in part, quote, "It is important that our entire community wrap around our children to help them feel a sense of safety and belonging."
Okay, so this is a very big news story. I mean, this is a teenager. This is a high schooler. He has been detained by ICE agents, and he is an American citizen. So I just wanted to give you a baseline. This is the sense of urgency behind this story when it was initially reported. And, of course, this video started circulating around this story as well.
Get out.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S.
I don't
citizen.
care. You're
I'm a U.S. citizen.
And the wording behind the video is what a lot of people were also upset about. I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. citizen, and then the ICE agent says, I don't care. Okay, so look, if you are subscribed to my channel, you know we have investigated so many stories and so many videos just like this. Make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you up to date with these types of topics. Because here's the thing, we often find out there always seems to be another side of the story that gets left out, or you don't really hear it because it's sort of squashed behind the main narrative. An American citizen, a teenager, the window has been smashed, the ICE agent said, I don't care. And it turns out there is another side of the story, according to Homeland Security.
Information this morning about why immigration detained a McMinnville teen Friday.
Homeland Security says they arrested the teen after he colluded with another driver to barricade U.S. Border Patrol agents.
Whoa, okay, hold on. That changes everything, because now we go from ICE is just smashing a window and arresting a high schooler to that high schooler allegedly barricaded Homeland Security officers and also colluded with somebody else to perform these obstructive measures against Homeland Security officers. That completely changes this story, according to Homeland.
A spokesperson said in a statement Saturday the incident reflects a growing and dangerous trend, saying our law enforcement is facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them as they arrest and removing dangerous criminals from the U.S. She didn't give any details about the 2 women agents detained.
It's awful. I mean, people in my community are being...
And that's all we get in this entire news segment, by the way. It's about 3-ish minutes long, and we get that little snippet from Homeland Security that, according to Homeland, the high schooler was following the agents. And you'll notice throughout all of these different news segments we go through and the stories, that seems to be the smallest part of the entire story, and the rest of it is a high schooler has been arrested. Remember, all of this is allegedly, but I want to give you some more context behind why ICE agents might have been a lot more aggressive in this case.
World that we live in.
Jess Montoya says community members are on high alert after ICE detained a McMinnville high school student Friday. She told Fox 12 he was arrested just a day after ICE took 2 other U.S. citizens into custody, women who were recording agents in Canby.
So this happened just a day after 2 other women were following ICE agents and they were arrested as well. One thing I always try to remind people is that the videos you watch on the internet and you see these ICE stalkers or people following ICE agents, I don't think they realize there can be some extremely bad consequences for people who obstruct these operations, especially if this is a targeted operation, which a lot of times from ICE agents, these are targeted operations. It takes a lot of time and money and a warrant to do these operations. If you follow and get in the way and you honk and you obstruct, you better believe you could be arrested. So looking at all of the context, this high schooler was arrested a day after a bunch of other American citizens were also arrested for following ICE agents. And it's not like ICE agents don't know what's going on. We're talking about reporting between agencies or officers to let others know we have ICE trackers out there and this is a growing trend. And like I always do on my channel, I try to provide you guys with evidence as if there really are ICE trackers in this area. This was posted just 3 days ago in the same exact area or city where these American citizens were arrested. Check this out.
They have noticed that we're following them, so they keep turning back. And they have hats on there. I saw them trying to turn around. Bitch, your tent ain't as dark as mine, so fuck out of here.
It looks like they might be leaving McMinnville.
And the other person in the vehicle just said, it looks like they might be leaving McMinnville. That is exactly what we're talking about, McMinnville. And real quick, before we continue, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you up to date with stories just like this. We've been covering a lot of topics out of Portland, Chicago, Los Angeles, all over the United States, so I want to make sure you're kept up to date. And if you see the QR code, that's for people watching TV. Just take out your cell phone, scan the QR code. It's a lot easier for you guys to subscribe that way. Thank you. Now, for some reason, a lot of people are not talking about this 20-year-old who also was arrested. Border Patrol called for urgent assistance from ICE officers. When ICE officers arrived, the F-150 fled the area. USBP and ICE officers approached the Tahoe, ordered the occupants out, and arrested the driver identified as Isaias Eduardo Soto Elias, a 20-year-old U.S. citizen, for impeding federal law enforcement. And again, it's being reported that the teenager and this 20-year-old apparently were colluding. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how they know one another. All we're being told from Homeland Security, there were 2 suspects. So if you've heard about this story, leave your comments down below if you even knew there were 2 suspects, because basically all of the headlines keep talking about this high schooler, and there seems to be all of this outcry based off of the high schooler.
Lined Adams Street here in McMinnville, expressing their outrage at the recent ICE arrests in Yamhill County.
It is terrifying our children.
It's unacceptable.
It happened here. It can happen anywhere.
McMinnville's superintendent of schools confirming a high school student was taken by immigration agents yesterday while the student was off campus during the lunch period.
And when they start here locally grabbing children out of the parking lots and breaking windows and having them disappear where their parents don't even know where they're at, that is a crime. That's horrible.
So you see why we're making this video. When that is the narrative somebody is saying on the local news and you think that is the full story, of course this is a little problematic, because who wouldn't be outraged if a high schooler American citizen was yanked from his vehicle and his window was smashed? I think everyone would agree, yeah, we'd be pretty upset about it, which is why I took a look into the story and I'm like, okay, hold on. It looks like there is another side to this story according to Homeland Security, so I want to make sure people know that this looks like to be the reason why Homeland did what they did. Again, all of this is allegedly, but there is another side to the story that seems to make a lot more sense as to why there was a lot of aggression in that video.
Horrible. I can't even imagine.
A 17-year-old minor being, abducted in broad daylight. Whether people agree with that or not, it's just unacceptable.
Longtime McMinnville resident Abraham Mejia tells us this is his first time coming out to a protest.
It hits home and it makes you feel almost fueled that you need to do something about it. And that's why I'm here today. That's what it took for me to be here today, is that it was too close to home. And unfortunately, I've been too comfortable from my home trying to support, but it takes action and getting out here and voicing your opinion and letting you.
See? These types of stories have huge consequences, as in, like, this is somebody who's saying, I've never even been to a protest, never thought about doing it, but because I heard that a kid in my high school has been abducted or the windows have been smashed, people are coming out for it. Again, so it makes total sense why so many people have been so upset about this story.
Me to know that we're not okay with this and uniting in a way.
Hundreds gathered, waving signs at drivers passing by. Mejia even bringing his kids along to Saturday's protest.
I want them to see that it's okay to voice your opinions, whether it's agreement or disagreement. As we've seen a few people drive by and voice their disagreement, it's okay, it's appropriate.
Miriam Vargas Corona, executive director of Unidas Bridging Community, tells KGW that 6 people were arrested by ICE Friday, 4 in McMinnville, 1 in Dundee, and 1 in Newburgh. And another was arrested in Newburgh Thursday. Oregon for All Network Director Jess Montoya says,
and again, we were not told who they were, what exactly they did, but one thing we do know, we can make a educated guess, is that ICE agents don't have the liberty that Border Patrol does to just sweep through the roads and create checkpoints and ask, are you an American citizen? Are you an American citizen? They don't get to do that. They are limited in numbers and in resources, so they have to be very careful with what they do with their operations and their time. So what I'm trying to say is the implication behind this operation is that it was targeted. There must have been warrants involved because ICE can't just do these broad sweeps. Now, the Trump administration wants ICE to start getting into that type of operation to do more broad sweeps, but there are some higher implications here. If this high schooler and the 20-year-old, which again, I don't know why we're not talking about the 20-year-old, if this was a judicial warrant and these were some pretty bad criminals, these are higher implications as to why there was aggression towards this high schooler and why the ICE agents were not taking it as far as the possibility of obstruction or getting in the way. When there are judicial warrants involved, that turns things into a whole new level. You cannot get in the way.
Quote, 4 U.S. citizens were held for hours without access to an attorney.
We should be able to walk these streets freely if we are U.S. citizens. And therefore, yesterday was a good example of how our rights are being violated.
Now, I did have one question I didn't see answered in any of these news reports. Nobody was talking about this. Are you allowed to leave during lunchtime in high school at this specific high school? It turns out you are if you are in 10th grade through 12th grade. I really tried to dig deep with these investigations, but that was the question I had, because in my own personal high school experience, we were not allowed to leave for lunch because a bunch of high schoolers before my time did something that wasn't too smart, and because of that, they ruined it for everyone else. My high school didn't want more liabilities. And again, I want to be very clear, this is all allegedly. I'm just trying to give you guys the full story here because we're only really hearing one narrative and small, tiny snippets of the other narrative that Homeland Security has. So I'm trying to bring equal weight together so you can have an opinion. And even if you still hate ICE and you think, well, it's a teenager, just let him go, I completely understand, but I'm just trying to give you guys the full story so you can have an educated opinion on this. Okay, so this is very exciting. Katie Davis Court just released a 10-minute special of what it's like to be an ICE agent in Oregon doing these targeted operations. Now, we're not going to watch the full 10 minutes. We'll just watch some of it. But I do want to show you guys, first off, Katie is awesome. Go follow her. She's an amazing journalist. But also, this is what it's like in these targeted operations. You don't roll out with like 50 other agents like Border Patrol. These agents have a small amount of other agents with them, so they have to be very tactical in how they operate. It only takes like 2 people to try and disrupt this operation and ruin operations, which is why ICE agents in Oregon, they push back if they feel like they're being obstructed. So again, go support Katie, go tell her we say hello. I already know this is going to be awesome.
You turn around and get out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
Here you go. Slow down.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, don't fight,
I'm Katie Davis Court reporting for the Post Millennial, and today we are strapping in for an exclusive ride along with the brave men and women of ICE. That's right, we are hitting the rain-slick streets of Portland, Oregon, where President Donald Trump's administration has doubled down on its promise to ramp up immigration enforcement operations in this sanctuary city.
Okay, so if you are subscribed to my channel, you know that Katie Davis Court really spearheaded and led the story when it came to the Portland ICE facility. Her and Honey Badger Mom. However, Katie Davis Court is also highlighting, outside of the clashing, outside of the protesting, this is the real story. This right here is what's actually going down, where federal agents are doing their jobs and not being forced to do like riot control. So this is the real story behind Portland, because these operations are going down 24/7, and a lot of times these officers, they're being obstructed or people are trying to stop them.
Which is perhaps the most volatile in the nation.
President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, he's coming to Portland as ICE and the administration are prepared to double and triple down on sanctuary cities across the country.
But we're going to get out there and we're going to do a pretty big number of those people in Portland that are doing that.
Since June 7th, the ICE facility here has been ground zero for relentless attacks, arson, vandalism, and outright assaults on federal agents just doing their jobs. Protesters clash with police, tensions boil over, and the chaos makes national news. But through the smoke and the shouts, these ICE officers stand tall, unyielding. Despite the violence hurled their way, they remain steadfast in their mission, safeguarding the homeland from within and enforcing the laws that keep our communities safe, one operation at a time.
Crazy.
All right, Katie, so this morning we're doing some targeted enforcement operations.
The vehicle headed to the exit. I'm running it right now.
Our first targets have foreign transnational gang affiliations.
This is what I mean. These are not broad sweeps. I mean, these are investigations that take a long time. You need warrants, and they have to go in there and be decisive and be swift. So when you have maybe a high schooler, allegedly, or you have a 20-year-old or whoever try to get in the way, you might be getting in the way of a targeted operation involving a gang affiliate or somebody who has done really bad crimes, and they're bringing that crime into the United States.
So
these are the implications of what happens when you obstruct, and it doesn't matter if you are an American citizen, you can be arrested for this, and you probably will be.
Part of the worst that we're going after today.
Not yielding.
Right now we've identified a possible subject. We have a great team out there, all enforcement minded, all happy to be here, all happy to respond and safely take care of our community.
She's running, go. And forward, 20 yards behind, catch up.
So what's happening right now?
Foot pursuit. And she likely would be on the side street. So if you see like somebody walking on the side, do you see him?
Whoa.
So it looks like we're pulling up on an arrest right now.
This is no. Are you serious?
We're wrong. We'll let you go. But right now,
This is
registered owner of this car. Okay, don't resist. Don't fight, please. Don't resist. Okay? Do not fight. Don't resist.
We won't know their full criminal history until we apprehend them. We're able to identify them fully, fingerprint them, and see what other state and local previous arrests they have that we have not encountered.
Okay, so I don't want to play all of Katie's content. Go over to her channel to watch the whole thing. It's amazing work. Thank you so much, Katie, for expanding your operation outside of just the Portland ICE clashes and showing us this is the real mission. This is why the Trump administration fights so hard to maintain some sort of order in Portland, to help and support these agents doing their jobs. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I highly advise you go support Katie Davis Court. Go and watch that video. Amazing work. Thank you for being here. And again, all of this is allegedly when it comes to that high schooler and the 20-year-old. I'm just trying to give you guys the full context once again, so you could have a little more of an opinion. You can do your own investigating as far as what actually happened with this story. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please pray for peace. We do need that right now. We need it really bad. God bless, and we'll see you all later. Thank you guys so much.